I'm going to dive into the deck here in a second. I'll tell you all kind of my journey with AI. Started with having a beer with a friend, Kevin Dorsey. Many of you might know. We were having some pizza and beer about, 8 weeks ago. And we were just starting to talk about all the different applications. And I really kind of, I through that start of that conversation, and then as I started to get deeper into it, really, it became very clear to me, and I hope all of you are here today, so hopefully it's clear to you that AI is not another technology. AI is not like, oh yeah, that's going to help me to like get leads faster or increase my email deliverability. It became very clear to me that AI is going to transform the way that many of us, are, knowledge workers. We are people that our value to the world is what we have in our brain and the skills that we have learned. And AI is going to really disrupt components of that. And so what I'm excited to do is share with you right now some of the tactical ways that we are implementing AI for our clients right now. We are really, I would like to think we're fast forwarding people to the future, but, we're creating a whole division at scale, which is AI process optimization. And again, it's not even bullish on this. It's, and again, I don't think I'm Nostradamus, the psychic or anything, but I think it's very clear that this is going to be our new normal in terms of how we integrate AI into our day-to-day. I feel like if you are listening to this, look, I've got about a little over 20 years of sales and sales leadership experience. I just had my 43rd birthday. So that happened. So I can tell you there has never been a moment that like now where I was talking to, again, I talk to, tens or hundreds of CEOs and sales leaders every month. I feel like I have to go back to complete beginner's mind and just erase the way that I used to think about working. And that might sound crazy or intense, but just the things I'm going to show you today are very much focused on outbound. The things I'm going to are focused on outbound, but if you all just pause after this session or come back to it and think through, it's going to start to open your mind to all the different things that you're going to be able to do here. So for the next 15 plus minutes, I'm going to kind of talk you through the 5 ways that I see this really impacting, and then how you all can really start to harness the power. The 3 big ones to think about: rep onboarding and ramp. Rep onboarding time is going to shrink like you cannot believe. I'm very confident we're going to be able to start to build onboarding plans for our clients that ramp reps in 3 to 4 weeks instead of 3 to 4 months. Okay. And I'm going to talk about how here in a second. Quality. We implemented all these tools so we could push the more button a lot more. Quality went like this on outbound. Like literally, if I could show like a cliff, I would have that. And then just making our people more productive. So those are going to be the 3 areas I'm going to talk about. So number 1 here, 5 ways AI can help you. So personalization and prep. I think this to me is one of the more interesting use cases that I think more teams are understanding. Okay. So again, this is just some prompts that we did. It's just a little GIF or GIF, depending on what camp you're in there. Again, going back to that rampant onboarding, I can get someone up to speed on a persona at an insane rate. I can say, great, hey, I'm an industrial manufacturing company. I sell to project managers in companies this size, this size, this size, assuming these economic conditions and this job title. What are some key pain points that I might be able to solve for them? Okay, well, how does that change if this changes? So your ability to personalize based on the industry, the persona, and the individual is insane. Okay, there's literally no excuse for any of you, for any organization. If your reps are hitting send all and you are continuing to focus on just quantity metrics, what I hope everyone does with AI is you don't increase the quantity that you're asking from people. Instead, you allow them to beef up the quality of what they're doing. And that's what I'm talking about now, right? Again, ask ChatGPT to summarize an article. Okay. Upload a video transcript. Okay. Upload and search PDFs. There's one that's Ask Your PDF. There's, PDF, chat PDF that you can do this with as well too. There is no reason that for not personalizing in 2023 and going forward. I'm telling you right now, if your teams are not customizing outreach, it's why your results are what they are. And your open rates are 30-35%, and your reply rates are, 0.5 or lower. We're seeing just some astronomically low numbers. So think personalize. And again, I'm okay. Like, really good persona-based personalization cuts through the noise like you won't believe. But saying, hey, I see the CEO of Scaled Consulting, my friends, that does not cut through the noise. Or when I see some of these other like AI tools, as they call them, for like customizing top of the funnel, it's like, well, Jake, I know as a CEO, you probably care. It's like, no, use this to really get narrow. I do this. Here's my products. You can upload the products that you sell and say, if you were a project manager, what are the top 3 things that you might care about here? Right. So again, just think about how quickly I can get up to speed on a persona. I can get up to speed on an industry. But again, so think of personalization to the individual as a part of this. Okay. Second is the writing process. Okay. When we think about this in particular, lead gen and research alone consumes about 21% of reps' times. From my side, and again, when we think about this in particular, the ability to do this at scale, where you can, I mean, again, I hope all of you, I mean, maybe your mind is like, again, if Tony, you're a newbie here, you might be a little, blown away by some of this, or just like thinking about it. Just think about content creation. I want to go create a XYZ. I'm getting ready to send a recap email. Imagine a world where I can literally go to ChatGPT. I can say, I just had a meeting with these personas in this industry. I sell a product that does this. They had objections or questions around A, B, C activities. Write me a follow-up email. So there you go. Write me a follow-up email to this. So again, there is no need to start from scratch. Again, but I will say this. This is my number one caveat, okay? AI does not equal automation. For this case in particular, don't just copy and paste. It gets you started. This one, get ready. Let's go. Role play to get better. This is the one I really don't think people, again, I guess it's weird, right? It's probably weird for some people to be like, wait, I'm going to role play with a chat bot. Yeah, that's exactly what I want you to do. So again, if you're an outbound rep, okay, you're outbound, or you're an AE who's doing more and more of this type of work, think about this in particular. Okay, I sell a product that does blah, 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 blah. Here's our value prop. Here's the people I sell into. Here's the sub industry. I've got a call with this person. What do you think will go wrong with this call? Tell them the scenario and ask ChatGPT, what do you think is going to go wrong with this call? Okay. Where might this type of job title, assuming these economic conditions, be beneficial? Or where do you think they're going to, have issue as a part of this? So again, I really the role playing that you can do. If I was a rep right now, if I was managing a frontline team or managing a massive, sales organization, my reps would be required as a part of onboarding to role play like multiple hours a day with ChatGPT. Like, in terms of getting people up to speed on the things I talked about, personalizing, the persona development, etc., the ability to role play is absolutely critical. Just keep in mind, and again, I'll just use ChatGPT, but Bard and some of these other ones. Most of you aren't going to be doing any type of like training on the back end, but every thread you start is like a new consciousness you just woke up. So what I want you to think about when you're doing these activities, don't just do one long run-on thread where you're asking different questions. Instead, create a role play for CFO chat thread where you're like, okay, you are a CFO of a company this size in this industry. I sell these products. Help me to put together the right pitch and messaging for you. and then just keep training it, 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 all those things as well. So again, think of this right now, the role play abilities. Again, I'm a new rep. I just started. I want you to think about how we used to get people up to speed. We would do these trainings and then we'd roll this thing out and then we'd roll this thing out. Literally, I can train someone, like I said, in weeks, and I can get them to having like really good, high quality conversations in weeks. Okay, so I said AI is not automation. With that said, there are some things, right, that we can automate. There are a lot of like, let's call it like non needed customization things that you can automate. Okay, with Zapier in particular. So if you all don't know, you can go to ChatGPT, sign up for a developer account, and then you can get access to APIs, which allow you to pull in. You can download the Slack or the Zapier or some of these other tools, right? So some of the things we're thinking about is like, okay, we could trigger an email to get sent after this activity. I don't know, right? I could trigger a Slack message, and Brian and I were messing around with this one that Brian built like pretty quickly, where it's the first use case I mentioned, like the personalization in Slack as well too. So I want you to think about this. You can trigger new prompts from like emails that are responded to. So there's different ways that you can automate. Again, what I don't want you to take away from today's session, I don't know if people usually frame it that way. I want you 100% to not take away from this session any ideas that I should be copying and pasting an email written by ChatGPT to automate the emails that I'm sending. Instead, I want you to use the data that you have, from what's working, what's not working. And I want this to help to make you smarter or better as well too. Just things like if I was a rep today, I could just be so like high quality lazy by using again, ChatGPT to help me with some of this. Again, and like imagine what I can tell it is like, I sell to this persona, here's what I do, here's what my product does. And then, shout out to Vidyard, I can say, write me a 20-second video script that I can send to blah, blah, blah. Right. So again, there's just a lot of things here. Do not automate. Automate sending like follow-up emails and other random things. Do not automate sending net new business emails. Okay, last but certainly not least, I could not end this without talking about LinkedIn. I will give ChatGPT about like a 6 or 7 in its like ability to write decent content. But again, you can use it to write a reply to a post. Like you want to write a comment, you're not sure what to say, just ask it. Okay, there you go. So you can see that example here. I like to use it again if you're someone who's like, look, I want to build I'm an SDR or an AE who prospects in an industry. I want to build my reputation in that industry. My friends, start feeding it your company white papers. Like, hey, write me a LinkedIn post based on this white paper that has a slight edge to it. Like you can tell it to like have a slight edge, be more casual. But long story short, I want you all to think about a lot of you probably using LinkedIn as a part of your strategy for Outbound. Well, I'm telling you that the team members and the teams where their reps post even a little bit outperform by orders of magnitude the teams where, and again, assuming your audience is on LinkedIn, where they're just sending cold emails in particular. So again, I hope this helps. Again, for a lot of you out there, I want you to think about AI is going to change the way that we work. And the people and teams that leverage these tools are going to be the teams that win. Okay. And the team and I would just also say, maybe unlike some other sales technologies where you feel like, oh, my company's job is to train me on this technology. My company's job is to like make sure that I know what's going on with AI in this new world. Okay. More and more and more of you all are responsible. Okay. You are responsible for learning these things. So I hope this helps a lot of you, at least get your, mind going, because this is really important stuff. It's really, really important that everyone listening starts to figure out how to incorporate AI into their day-to-day. So thank you, everyone.